Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It is Two Player Negative AE, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we Brenna talked with us a little bit, and there was some weird tips with Rika doing some stuff. So, um, let's just get into this and see. I don't know if this is going to be the last episode or not. We're just going to kind of jump into it and get as far as we can. We'll see. Read fast and off the rails. Walking with only me onto school made me miss Rena a lot.
どうしたのさ、さっきからキョロキョロしてさ。
なんでもないよ。
The same old path to school, but I felt nervous for some reason. I wondered what Rena meant when she said she was going to win a come from behind victory last night. Couldn't stop feeling like something dangerous was going to happen. Rena thought Mion was one of her enemies. She could be lying in wait to attack Mion with a knife.
大丈夫だ。レナがそんなまあ仮にそうでも自分の身くらい守れるからね。
Mion said it brightly as if trying to tell me she wasn't afraid of anything. But I couldn't be optimistic like her because I knew exactly what Rena was going through. Rena must be determined by now. She probably wouldn't mind dying fighting against Mion if she wasn't going to win anyway. Of course, that didn't mean she was... Oh. I got a notification. Of course, that didn't mean she was definitely going to take violent action. But I couldn't deny the possibility either.
それよりおじさんが気にかかるのはどうしてレナが急に変になっちゃったのか、その理由の方だね。
Is there any reason? I remembered the tragedy. Couldn't remember what made the world go crazy. I remembered we got lost in that awfully scary world. It started with small things, and those small things continued to pile up one after another. If you thought about it calmly, you'd laugh because it was a really stupid thing. But once those little tiny stupid things started to bother you, you couldn't ignore them. It was that kind of disease. If you could call it one. But there must have been a reason. There must have been a reason that made the world go crazy. But it must be such a small thing that you couldn't even notice. Fortunately, that reason was very difficult to understand, and you wouldn't be able to figure it out until you died.
親戚にお医者がいてね、ちょっと聞いてみたんだけど、脳とかに腫瘍ができて、たまたまそれが珍しいところだったりすると、性格が急に変わったり、普段と別人みたいになってしまうことがあったりする。大昔はこの病気が悪魔つきや狐つきなんて呼ばれてオカルト的に脚色されてたこともある。
ってことはつまり脳という体の一部に
今回に関してはレナはリナ鉄平殺しの後かなり動揺していて心が不安。そんな時期に大石のバカタレが富武さんたちの事件を大げさに吹き込む。
大石さんって人もさ、高野さんのスクラップ帳に
へえ、どの
なんていうのかな、現に5年連続で起こってるのにこんなことを言うのもなんだけど、俺さ、もともと連続事件なんて存在しないんじゃないかって思ってる。
I'd be sort of mad. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be sort of mad if that was the case. I'd be a little bit if they're just like there was no connection to the murders at all. They just happened. This was an unfortunate town with a bunch of murders in it, and that's just how it worked. If they weren't all connected, I don't know, man. I don't know how I would feel at that point. Individually, it was the same as the past you didn't need to talk about. Thought of them as a series of mysterious deaths, which is why we thought something was going to happen this year too. It led us to think that there was a conspiracy, and that the Sonozaki family was behind it. We connect those things to the series of mysterious deaths, but we shouldn't do that in the first place. Just like I tried to keep my distance from Rena when I found out about her dark past. So... Okay, sure. Scrapbooks are a good example. She dramatized both recent incidents and old cruel history, and she made feasible stories out of them, saying that the Sonozaki family was behind it all. Oishi-san did the same thing too. He was so convinced that the Sonozaki family was behind it all that he was making them that it was making him interpret things the wrong way. In that sense, we could say that Oishi-san believed in the same delusion as Rena. Okay.
その辺にはさ、何かあるごとに黒幕のように振る舞う園崎家の責任もあるんじゃねえのかな。この村では何かおかしなことがあれば、すべて園崎家の暗躍、それで決着をつけられてしまう。例えて言えばほら、この世の現象はすべてプラズマで説明できるみたいな感じだよ。
ほう、つまり園崎家が全部悪いってわけ？
そうだ。よってお前の名前は今日からプラズマミオンと呼ぶ。うわ、なんだかレスラーみたいな名前だな。
はあはあ、プロレスラー大いに結構。そうだけじゃん、コブラツイストって知ってる？
やめろ。このクソ熱いのに絡みつくな。いててて。やー。
おはようございますですわ、ケイチさん。おはようなのです。
Tuko and Rikuchan looked a little sad when they saw only the two of us. If the three of us came to school together like always, we would have been really happy. But our classmates were as noisy as usual. Nobody seemed to make a big deal about Rena's absence. Yeah, Sensei was going to be here soon, and she'd start morning homeroom. Everyone was fooling around as if they didn't want to miss a second of time until then.
ねえ、今日は臭い。バーカ。窓を閉めたらもっと暑くなるんだよ。
Like gasoline or something, it really stank. Someone from the forestry service must have been putting gasoline into the construction equipment or something. Fucking the school blows up. The school blows up, Red is in the back like, whoops! Come from behind victory, blew up the entire school. Yo, that shit would be awesome. Not gonna lie. If Rena blows up the entire school and that's how this chapter ends, legit coolest ending. Our school wasn't a normal school compared to others. We were using part of the forestry service building. Unusual things like this happen sometimes.
いやいや、いつだったかな。貝塚いぶきを剪定した枝葉をあれはひどかった。あの独特の刺激臭は頭痛を起こさせるよね。貝塚いぶきって何ですの？お野菜の名前なのです。たまにカレーに入ってますのです。
今度スーパーに行ったら探してみろ。
よくわかんないけど、最初はリカとケイチさんに毒味をさせた方が良さそうでございますわね。
あれ、俺たちのボールがねえ。王女、お前がまた隠したんだろう。
The boys seemed to be looking for their ball for a while, and they yelled at Satoko.
誰がそんなものを隠しますの？どうせ隠すならもう少し気の利いたものを隠しましたよ。ほらほら、先生来たよ。みんな席に着きな。はい、皆さん、席についてください。
Kept thinking about what she said last night. I wonder what her come from behind victory means. According to Takano-san's delusion, the masterminds behind the bioterrorism were the three families in the group of fanatical believers that controlled the three. In other words, the Sonozaki family. What could Rena do alone against them? Mion lived with her grandmother, the leader of the Sonozaki family. There were only two of them in the house. It was possible that Rena would try to break into their house with a knife, but I had already come up with that possibility last night. That's why I called Mion and warned her. On the way to school this morning, Mion told me some bodyguards from the Corps had been at her house since this morning. She told me she'd be guarded herself too. There was a black car parked near the school gate. They must have been the bodyguards. But according to Takano's parasite theory, the battle wouldn't end just by attacking the leader of the Sonozaki family. According to the delusion she believes in, the conditions of her victory were more complicated than that. She needed to expose the group of fanatics who were behind the Sonozaki family. and she needed to destroy their research on the parasite. Plus, Rena didn't have much time left, thanks to the suspicious poison that she mentioned. But how exactly could she win a come-from-behind victory under circumstances like that? She might interpret the town council are a group of fanatics. If so, she might attack them next time they have a meeting at the shrine. The town council meets once a month at most. It would be hard to believe that they were holding a meeting today. She probably thought the place researching the parasite is the EDA clinic. Brenna suspected that there was something fishy about the clinic from the beginning, and that suspicion must have changed to certainty in her head by now. Did that mean she was going to attack the clinic? This wasn't like an action movie. What could she do all by herself? Was she going to start a fire? No, that would be pointless. In order to expose the conspiracy, she'd need to get proof that they were actually studying the parasite. Was she going to break into the clinic and get questionable, weird samples? The last problem of all was how much time she had left. She believed that she didn't have much time left, especially under desperate, disadvantageous conditions. She might try to stab whoever she thought of as an enemy. Rena sounded like she really believed she would regain her happy and peaceful days after everything was over. Rena probably meant that she was going to stay alive and win. Was there something like an antidote? It didn't have to be real. As long as it was an antidote to Rena's delusion, it didn't matter what it was. It could even be the water you wash your vegetables with. If she thought that she could get the antidote so easily, she wouldn't have been so desperate about the time she has left. The antidote must be difficult for her to get. The easiest place for that, in her delusion, was that it was hidden somewhere in the clinic. Putting it all together like that, I felt like the Idia and his clinic were in danger. Now that I thought about it, the elderly people in the village, including the members of the town council, hung out in the waiting room of the clinic all the time. If most of the board members happened to gather there, for her it'd be the perfect place to attack. I told Mion about that during lunch break. Wow. Dude, this is like the biggest...
普段ならそんなバカなって言いたいところだけど
This is the biggest shit that I've ever seen. I have no idea what's going on. If this were a normal situation, I'd say she wouldn't do such a stupid thing, but...
その可能性を全く否定できなく本家に電話してみるよ。診療所にも人を配置するように言っとく。
Mion didn't object to my crazy idea. She put down her chopsticks and went to the teacher's office to make a phone call.
先ほどから本当にレナさんがそんな恐ろしいことをなさいますの？診療所を襲うなんて
するかもしれない。しないかもしれない。でもな、怒っちまったらおしまいなん。惨劇に抗うってことは起こさないよ。
何事もないことを祈りたいのです。
I don't understand why Rika had a syringe and was like, I'm gonna hit you with the syringe. Because we know from previous stories that that's a bad syringe. Right? Like, we know that that's a terrible syringe to take. From past games, right? So it's like, why would Rika go to Rena with a syringe that looks the same? Well, I guess I'm guessing that it looks the same. I guess it was never really described.
まさかとは思うけどね。
Besides it being a syringe.
何をやらかすか分かったもんじゃない。
But then the fact that she has a syringe at all is interesting to me.
姿を見たら直ちに引っ捕らえてしまって構いませんか?
I'm just trying to...
本当は嫌なんだけどな。
If I'm being honest with myself, I make decisions
どうしようね。
based on like what counteracts that. Right, so like if I'm making a theory, it has to be sound in every single possible way.
先日の会合で
And right now there's just too much in every
警察に
which
引
way.
き渡すことで決着しています。ですので引っ捕らえても一応筋は通ります。
うちの対面じゃなくて、レナできたら本当に静かに。
まあお若いです。人さえ殺さなければ大抵はごめんなさい。
じゃあアウトかもだ。
いえいえ、見つからなければセーフですから。セーフセーフ。沖宮の界隈ではあの二人何かのヤバい話、あの程度のゴロつき、次から次へです。
Hold on, guys. Just give me a second. I have to reread a bunch of stuff because I'm. As long as they don't find out about it, she'll be safe. That's that's
ですか
worrying
ら
me.
セーフセーフ。
アウトだのセーフだの私ら野球まあいいや。
了解しまではひっ捕らえてよろしいんですね。
ちゃんとタッチアウトにするんだよ。クロスプレーなんかにしないようによろしく頼みます。
As long as they don't find out about it, she'll be safe. Who the fuck is that? Wonder if she'd been able to hear this good. Yeah, Sensei put her spoon down with a sad look on her face. She asked the following.
今の電話はまあ園崎さん、竜宮さんはお友達として何か知ってはいませんか？
Hard for anyone to understand Rena's situation except for me and Kei-chan. So most of them thought Rena just ran away from home. But after she did, the cops made too much of a fuss over it. She stupidly believed the scrapbooks were a big scoop and me and Kei-chan. Okay, so we are in Mion's shoes. Cool. He had patrol cars running around everywhere. He used the town's council, so people in the village thought Rena did something wrong and was trying to run from the cops. Good. I'm glad we're in Mion's shoes. More than finding her was to make up a story and retrieve Rena's honor after they detained her. What about this? Rena went for a walk, fell down, hit her head on the edge of some tofu, and lost her memory. She misunderstood something big time, and he thought she was a criminal. It was too easy. Anyway, we did make it clear to that Oishi that was the one who misunderstood everything at the meeting the other day. I had to make the best use of his name while he was feeling down for once. What I'd have to do was not make a big deal about the situation, and to create an environment that allowed Rena to forget everything that happened in order to get her life back together as soon as possible.
大丈夫ですよ先生。レナは今ちょっと病気になってるだけです。それを警察の某ベテラン刑事が素敵に勘違いして話をややこしくしただけです。まさか先生、レナが悪いことをして逃走中なんて信じちゃいないですよ。それはもちろんですけど、でも家出することによってご家族におかけしている迷惑を考えれば悪くないということはありません。
She had a fight with her father, and she ran away from home for a little while. She acted childish, that's all. Maybe that'd be the best story to go with.
何か悩みがあったので、それに気づけなかった私は一度竜宮さんとじっくりお話がしたかったです。先生、ちょっとヘビーに考えすぎです。もうちょっとプチ家出なんて今時はあ、竜宮さんがこのまま不良になってしまって悪いことを始めたらどうし
Ryugu-san becomes a bad kid. What the fuck? She does something bad and gets arrested by the police. It's her teacher's responsibility. I'll be honorably discharged. I can't eat curry anymore. I almost forgot that she was a curry fanatic. I'm dead. Chie-sensei seemed comically upset by her own imagination. It looked funny, so I decided to leave her alone. I made to leave the teacher's office to go back to the classroom, but right then the phone rang.
はい、もしひなみ沢文庫でございます。
Chie-sensei had to answer the phone all day because the school principal was on a business trip. How convenient, principal. I exited to the hallway. Then I heard the tone of her voice change.
今どこにいるんですか？
I yelled and looked back at her. It was probably Rena. She called the school. I tried to go back inside the teacher's office, but Chie-sensei gestured at me not to come in. Chie-sensei acknowledged what Rena was saying several times, and she looked up at the clock.
わかりました。今からすぐ先生との約束ですよ。院長、先生は休養ができました。しばらく表へ出ますので、みんなを自習させてください。
Took her car key out from her purse. It's obvious that she was going to see Rena
先生、
somewhere.
今の電話はレナ？以上です。
よろしく頼みますよ、委員長。
Yeah, since they completely ignored me and ran out into the hallway. She ran into the schoolyard and got into her car. The moment her car left through the gate, I ran out to the schoolyard myself. I headed for the black parked car near the gate and knocked on the window.
お疲れ様です。今のところ異常ありません。
あー違う、今出て行った先生の車を追って。多分行く先にレナがいる。
了解っす。
レナは警戒心が強いから注意してね。
Dude.
捕まえたら有無を言わさずに本家放り込んで葛西の指示に従うこと。
Dude, that would be the best plan in the world, dude. How much you want to bet it's freaking... You all know what's going on. Rena called the teacher to get the teacher to go somewhere else. She knew that Mion would be paranoid when the teacher just immediately left the classroom. Because she's class president, she would have to take care of the class. So the teacher would definitely tell Mion. Mion, of course, tells her bodyguards to leave and go follow the teacher because she thinks that that's where Rena is, which is Rena knows is the Sonozaki family's objective. Rena is actually somewhere in the school. That's why she called right after she left or whatever. And she's ready to murder everybody, dude. I'm ready for this, dude. Get ready. I could tell that easily from the way that she ignored my question. I did feel a little bad for ruining their promise. It was very important that we caught her before she did something wrong. We could still make up an excuse that she was just wandering around because she had a fight with her father and ran away from home. But if she set fire to the clinic or something, there would be nothing I could do. That's why it smells like gasoline in the school, dude. Because now that the teacher's gone, she's just gonna burn the whole thing. Dude, it's gonna be crazy. I watched the car until it was gone. All I could do now is pray that this would be settled calmly. School blows up.
午後の授業は自習になったよ。というわけで、おとなしく席について何かやる。
自習？
Mion ran up to me and spoke quietly.
レナから電話があった。
え、本当か？
うん。ついさっき、千恵先生が指定された場所に
レナのやつ、一体どういう？
わかんない。とにかく、うちの車に先生の後を、レナには悪いけど、そこで踏んづかまえる。
うまくいくといいな。
荒事には慣れてる連中だよ。任せとこ
う。じゃあ捕まえれば一件落着なのか。
だね。そしたらとりあえず病院、きっと専門の医者が見たらなんだってくらいに典型的な強迫性、心因性、ストレスなんたらとか。
I feel like she's gone to the doctor before though. That's the problem. Sorry, I needed to take a drink. To Rena, who was waiting for Chie-sensei, the problem would be solved. It wasn't going to be easy after that, but I'm sure Mion would take good care of her. It's not going to be that easy for them to catch her. In the end, everybody would understand that Rena just ran away from home because of a silly fight with her father. A happy ending.
一件落着でしょ。
That just didn't sound right to me. Why does the classroom smell like gasoline? Couldn't see any connection between Rena and Chie-sensei. She just wants Chie-sensei to leave. It was hard to explain, but there was something wrong. Now, how much you want to bet my theory is correct? Dude, is my theory spot on from the very beginning? Did I just guess it? As soon as I heard the gasoline line, I'm like, wait a second, something's wrong. Dude, Chie-sensei leaves. She's gonna blow up the school because the teacher's gone. Guaranteed. Rena's actually here. Didn't understand what Rena wanted from Chie-sensei. There's a knife in your back. Oh, it's just Rena, but she's here. Tell me she has matches. Dude, this is gonna be a bloodbath. I don't know if I'm ready or like what's going on. That's how she looks in that style. It's actually, wow, look at how exactly the same. I think that's the reimagined graphics. I don't think she actually had, I don't know. I have no idea. Cuz that looks almost like crazy good for what it should be. I think it's a lot worse than that.
みんな
Because this was created by like one man, right? Like one guy.
教室の真ん中に集まって。
Everybody gasped in surprise. Even Chie-sensei couldn't make everybody go quiet all of a sudden. I knew she was here. Did I not call that she was at the school and she just wanted Chie-sensei to leave? I did call that. So far, she has not pulled out any matches, though, so it's not completely on board. In her other hand, she had a big, scary-looking hatchet. Everybody immediately understood that Rena had taken a hostage.
みんな、聞こえてない？教室の真ん中に集まって。机は周りにどけちゃってね。
Nobody grasped what she was asking us to do. We all froze. Rena was the only one who was smiling. It was terrifying.
兄ちゃん、委員長でしょ？みんなに指示して。
レナ、あんた何をやってんの？
A loud noise washed out Mion's voice. Rena hit the teacher's desk really hard with her hatchet. She pulled out the hatchet, making an ominous ripping noise. Now there was a line of violence carved plainly into the desk. Uh-oh. She broke it. Chie-sensei is gonna get mad when she comes back. But that wasn't it. What the hell?
兄ちゃんはやっぱりダメだね。じゃあケイチ君に頼むよ。ケイチ君だけは最後まで私の仲間だから信じていいんだよね。
I'd do it if you want to live, Keiichi. I would do it. I would be like, you know what? Everybody get into the middle. Just do what she says. You look so scary. I've never seen eyes like that in my life. You have. Remember all of your past lives, Keiichi. Why are people afraid of insanity? Insanity means a person doesn't share the same values and the same common sense as us. For example, say a thief breaks into your house. What is going on here? I don't need the explanation. You'll get scared and wonder if he's going to stab you before he leaves. But you hope that the thief has feelings too and that he's not going to kill you for no reason. No matter how bad the person is, we tend to believe that in his goodwill, as long as we share the same values, the same common sense, and the same morals as him. But we can't expect that goodwill from somebody who doesn't have those things. We can't expect goodwill from a person who can't communicate with him. When a burglar has a knife and you beg him not to hurt you, you expect him to listen and to show you mercy. In other words, you can still communicate with him. But if he doesn't have the ability to communicate, he's just a monster that's trying to attack you. Or like the blade of a guillotine that's falling down on you. Guillotine. I'm sorry. You fear him because you can't communicate with him. That's insanity. It's the same fear we were fearing towards Rena at that very moment. She looked like a human just like us, but there was no room for her to communicate with us like a normal person can do. Everybody understood that fear instinctively.
ケイチ君、机をどけさせて。
みんな、レナが言うのに従おう。
Rena was like a barrel of gunpowder at that moment. She seemed really calm and quiet, but she could explode at any minute. When she did, I doubt she'd show us any mercy. But you're Keiichi. You probably wouldn't hesitate to use that hatchet on us. That's right. Just like how I didn't feel guilty to hesitate to kill Rena and Mion. Everybody went all quiet while pushing the desks against the wall to make a space where Rena wanted it. Saying that we're moving too slow, she hit the blackboard with the hatchet, making a horrible noise. Every time she did that, she left an equally horrible scar on the blackboard. The thing we looked at the most in the school.
じゃあケイチ、みんなのロッカーから縄跳びを出してもらえる。それを使ってみんなを。
俺、縛るのとか、多分上手に縛れないぞ。
後でちゃんと縛れているか。ゆるい人はその場で殺しちゃうから、しっかり縛ってあげてね。
We were still kids. We saw the word kill all the time. It was used a lot in comic books and cartoons after all. So normally you'd assume we'd be used to hearing the word kill. But when Rena said she'd kill us, it sounded so frightening. I'd never heard something like that in my life. To Rena, our lives were like cards she could use for negotiation. She'd get rid of one card every time somebody refused her request. Get rid of? Why did we use such scary words like get rid of for simple things like playing cards? Anyway, there were about 20 students in the class. It was a little bit too many for Rena to handle. She might get rid of one or two just to set an example. I decided to do what Rena said because I didn't want to lose her temper. I got out everybody's jump ropes from their lockers. Everybody has a jump rope? That's some new shit.
ケイチ君は後ろ手にどんどん縛っていってきっちり縛るんだよ。ケイチ君は私の味方だもん。だからわざと緩くなんかね。
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't actually trust you. She just says that she trusts you so that because like taking advantage of your heartness, because she knows you have like a heart. The way Rena is, if she loses her trust in you, you're just not getting that trust back. It's how I'm feeling. "20 students in the class, half of them were boys, some of them were smaller than Rena. But there were enough people here to overpower her. But if we did that, Rena would probably hit her hostage with the hatchet. We'd also probably use the hatchet to attack the rest of us without hesitation. It'd be a bloody battle. I'm sure somebody would get hurt if we tried to overpower her. The hostage would be seriously injured, or maybe even die. If that happened, it was over. No matter how hard we tried to cover up, she'd never be able to live peacefully like before." Neon seemed to understand that too. I could tell from Rena's eyes that she wasn't going to go easy on us. If somebody showed defiance, she'd break the hostage's head open immediately. Of course, Rena had done that before. She'd probably do it again with no hesitation. But as long as we did what she said, we could prevent that bloody tragedy. If we could somehow solve the situation without shedding any blood, with Mion's influence, we might still be able to pretend that this never happened. At least, we had to make sure she didn't kill anyone.
従おう。
ケイちゃん。
Mion tried to think of ways to overpower Rena, but she couldn't come up with any good ideas to save the hostage. That's how easy it would be for Rena to kill them. The best thing to do at that time was to wait for a chance without agitating her further. Mion lay down on the floor and everyone else followed suit, sluggish with terror. I am very surprised that I just called that right as it was happening. It was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Dude, I'm surprised she didn't come in with matches. Like 100% she should have came in with matches and just blown up the whole place. We're right next to the forestry service. You can just blow up everything. I was left alone, standing rooted to the spot with jump ropes in my hands. All my classmates were lying face down on the floor while Rena was pointing the hatchet at the hostage, watching our every move from behind the teacher's desk. I just stood frozen in the middle of it all.
ケイチ君にはまだまだ手伝っだから早くして。あんまり時間がかかると何人かが死んでしまうかもしれない。
Some of the little kids started crying when they heard the word
大
die.
丈夫、ケイチ君がだからきっと。
What a bold threat. She said I was her friend, but she was just playing with the meaning of the word. I was the last person who could still fight against Rena under these circumstances. But it wasn't going to be easy to overpower her by myself. I wasn't sure I could do that. Even if I tried to act, though, once Rena pointed the hatchet at somebody's neck, it was over. I shouldn't fight against her for now. I should just wait for a chance. As long as Rena was alone, there would be a chance. She made me tie them up because she couldn't do that by herself. There was a limit to what she could do because she was by herself. If we could cover this up somehow before Chie Sensei came back, we would be able to pretend like we were kidding around. I finally realized something. I realized why Rena called Chie Sensei to meet with her. In order for Rena to take over the classroom, she needed to get rid of Chie Sensei. Chie Sensei had a very strong sense of justice. Even if Rena had a gun, she wouldn't hesitate to overpower her. She was the kind of teacher who would risk her life for her students. Rena needed to figure out how to get rid of Chie-sensei, and that was the key to her plan. Rena probably thought about attacking her from behind at first, but there was risk there as Chie-sensei was a grown-up woman, so she probably thought attacking her directly wasn't a wise choice. So, naturally, the next option was to lure her out somewhere. Rena called Chie-sensei and told her that she wanted to talk to her in private, in order to lure her out to some place far from here. Most people, including Chie-sensei, thought that Rena was just running away from home. So Chie-sensei must have thought Rena had some problems she wanted to talk to her about. It was too easy to deceive her. Where did she make the phone call from? She probably used the phone in the school. Well, not in school, to be exact. She probably used the phone on the second floor of the school. The one belonging to the forestry service. This school was using part of the forestry service building, but this particular location was more of a branch office. So it's not like somebody was here all the time. Rena knew that, and she'd probably been hiding there for a while. She called the phone on the first floor from the second floor, and she made Chie-sensei leave the school. I didn't think it was a coincidence that the principal was on a business trip today. She probably snuck into the school yesterday. She saw the principal's schedule, learned how to call the phone, and from the first floor to the second, she carried out her plan. How much you want to bet? She also set up some gasoline in the school, dude. She planned it perfectly. How much of a coincidence is it that you smelled gasoline? Yeah, I knew it. Rena was insane, but I also knew she was also actually really calm. She was possessed by her delusion, but she was also unbelievably calm about it. So she could still think fast. Almost spilled things. I knew that very well because I'd been through the same thing before. What was worse is that Mion's bodyguards were gone. Mion told them to follow Chie-sensei because she thought Chie-sensei was going to meet with Rena. Damn it. Everything seemed to be working out in her favor.
しまったぞ。
I tied up the last person and looked in Rena's direction. If I didn't tie them up really tightly, Rena would kill them. But when I tied them up too tightly, they suffered in pain. The pained cries made me feel useless.
ありがとうケイチくん。ケイチくんを疑りはしないけど、ケイチくんは頭の上で手を組んで、これは全員に言うけど、私の断りなく立ち上がったら殺す。本人も殺すし、見せしめでランダムにもう一人殺す。ランダムじゃよ。じゃあこうしよう。言うことを聞かなかった子と出席番号に10を加えた子を殺す。例えば岡村くんが言うことを聞かなく、そうすると出席番号10、渡辺くんが一緒に殺されちゃう。わかる？常に2人死ぬの。歯向かっても自分の命一つじゃ責任が取れないってこと、よーく胸に刻んでおくんだよ。
Smart. If you lose your morals, that's like smart. I'm not gonna. She totally understood how to threaten people. Normally, you'd stand against an attacker at your own risk. If you fail, you're going to die. But if you were responsible for someone else, then you couldn't try to resist. You can't risk somebody else's life with your own decisions.
うん。全員ちゃんと縛れてるね。
I don't know.
ケイチくん、縛るの下手くそって言ってたけど。
I'd do it this way, right? I'd stand up and like fight. I wouldn't even be freaking. I'd be the one jumping. I feel like once you're dead, you don't care, you know?
自信持っていいよ。
Like, yeah, it sucks to die, but if you're dead, like the world's like over for you.
じゃあ
It's just
ケイチくんは立って。
so you might as well try to save everybody before you even get tied up, you know? Too late to fight back. I followed her orders. To just wait for a chance. Could still turn this into some kind of bad joke. I had to do something. Anyway, what were you planning to do, Rena? Don't tell me this is the come from behind victory you were talking about. Keep getting notifications this episode. I have no idea why. Halfway point though. What time is it? It is almost This is gonna be over an hour. I can already tell. This is the halfway point. Okay, here we go. How do they know? I have no idea. Cool. They know. Cool. Awesome.
クマちゃん、遅れて申し訳ない。状況は？
ご苦労様です。本日当時教室にいた生徒25名全員が拘束されている模様。犯人側の第一要求は営林署敷地内への一切の立ち入りの禁止と当保へのホットラインの確保です。
ってことは、はじめどういうつもり？
あと犯人は竜宮玲奈。
竜宮さんな？わかりました。いいですよ。こうなりとことんお付き合いさせてもらい。
竜宮玲、カーテンが閉められているので状況も一切確認できていません。
通報者に選挙時に。
いえ、よって内部の状況は一切不明。担任は犯行直前に竜宮玲奈の電話呼び出しを受け、遠方に呼び出された間の
計画的ですね。営林署側の人間は人質には？
今日は営林署職員は不在でした。よって生徒25名の生徒数は担任が出席簿で確認した人数です。
それプラス犯人ってわけか。竜宮玲奈以外に犯人らしき人影は？
いえ、何度かカーテンから覗く人影がですが、規模他を考えておそらく最低でももう一人二人はいると予想されます。
単独犯かもしれませんよ。
Renarigu was a true believer in Mio Takana's scrapbooks. According to those scrapbooks, the entire village was Renarigu's enemy. She didn't have anyone she could trust. However, Oishi had also believed in Mio Takana's delusion. It was possible that someone who was influenced in the same way was following Renarigu.
おいさん、校長と担任です。
ああ、どうもチエさん。大丈夫ですか
？She ran up to Chie-sensei, who was crying with a handkerchief held up to her face.
みなちゃんはこんなことをするなんて。
マニュアル通りなら最近の竜宮さん、多分竜宮さんに限っては先生よりはまあなんとか穏便に解決しますからご安心を。
Chie-sensei was huddled over, and Oishi didn't think he could say anything else to her. On the contrary, the principal was staying strong, trying to figure out how to take care of the
大石
situation.
殿、もしできるなら人質の交換を申し出たい。ぜひ私と子供たちを交換していただきたい。
校長先生、私が悪いんです。
先生方には校内の状況についていろいろとお聞きしたいことが。ボンジ君、図面の方で話を聞いてあげてください。
失礼します。1号車の無線に高杉課長です。
はいはい、もしもし。
大石さん、ご苦労さん。状況の大体は熊谷君に聞いたよ。
Why are you calling in such a tense situation then?
犯人は未成年だそうだね。
Takatsuki, get out of the way.
マスコミ規制の方を厳重に頼むよ。
There's a story happening here.
分かってます。あと犯人側が私を交渉人にして。
竜宮玲奈の件はその流れなら犯人大石君くれぐれ。
本当はすっごく嫌なんですがね。
Plot twist, Rena has a police scanner.
お騒がせした責任を感じてますの
Plot
で。
twist, Rena has a
罪
police
滅
scanner.
ぼしに一つ。
おいさん、車載電話に。
早速出ることにしま。ありがとう。はい、もしもし、大石です。
大石さんですか？どうも、竜宮です。
どうも大石です。
車載電話って電波とかがたまにちょっと聞こえ。
私と同じでね、定年間近なんですよ、きっと。
Rishi and I exchanged friendly words. A long cord trailed from the hallway from the teacher's office. That cord extended further to the phone and the podium in the
で
classroom.
は本題に入りますね。まず最初にあなたが交渉人たる資格があるか。
自信なお伺いします。
大石さんは私の
当然じゃ。あなたと私で園崎家の陰謀を暴こうじゃないですか。
Rishi answered without hesitation. Is he still my ally? Or is this sly detective just saying what I wanted to hear? Either way, I only had Oishi to depend on. If I couldn't trust him, I was stuck. There would be nothing else I could do.
圭一君も一時期は私が言ってることを信じてくれない。でも 今は信じるでしょ？
Keiichi was sitting on the floor facing away from me with his head resting in his hand.
今はもう私の仲間で。
ああ、そうだ。
Ryugu asked Keiichi Maebara if he was her comrade, but I couldn't hear his voice. Was she trying to tell me that Keiichi Maebara was still alive? Or that he was being forced to obey her because of the
前
hostage?
原さんも竜が図らずやい。でもあなたも一時期前。
モデルガンの事件を聞いて、でも過去の事件でそれらを踏み台にして私
とてもまさにその通りです。
だから私たちは、だから圭一君のこと、圭一君はなく。
わかりました。ならばそれは私にとっても圭一君に私がよろしくと言って。圭一君にも新しい仲間としてご挨拶がしたいです。受話器に出てもらうことはできますか？
Conversation stopped suddenly. That made me nervous. Did I say something wrong?
いいよ、圭一君。大石さんから電話だよ。
I heard some rattling and rustling on the other side of the phone.
もしもし、前原です。
He sounded monotone. Unable to disobey, Keiichi Maebara must have been pretending to follow Rena Ryugu's
どう
orders.
もどうも、前原さん、沖宮署の大石です。この度はお世話になります。お互い頑張りましょう。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
竜宮さんは今何をしてます？
教室の中を歩いてますよ。
前原さん、イエスならはい、ノーなら A と相槌を打ってくれ。あなたは竜宮さんが何を言う？
ええ。
Okay, sure. I feel like. Hold on. I feel like Rena would be completely listening to this conversation. In no world would she not be listening to the conversation. Wasn't Rena Ryugu's accomplice? There's no way Rena wouldn't tell her accomplice what she wanted after planning a hostage situation like that. How would he help someone who wouldn't even tell him what she wanted?
担当直入にあなたは竜宮レ。いえいえ、質問を変えます。あなたは竜宮レナに。
はい。
There you go. The other guys in the car listening to our conversation raised their fists in
犯
victory.
人は
はい。
If she was the only suspect, then we could respond appropriately. But I guess I won't believe. Else believed in Takana's scrapbooks. If so, my being fooled is even more embarrassing. As I thought about my next question, I heard the phone being taken away from Keiichi. Rena came back on the line.
圭一君は味方でしょ？
ねえ、そうでした。とても頼もしいですよ。
で、前の電話で約束した園崎家関係への一斉捜査はどうですか？秘密の研究施設は発見できましたか？
I had to decide on what to say. Should I tell her we conducted raids or not? Maybe she already knew we didn't raid. Maybe she was just testing me.
今ですね、県警の防隊と公安部で一斉捜査作戦を準備中なんだ。何しろ市内全域を一斉にやりますからね。調整に遅すぎる。
大石さん、私たちは今獅子骨氏が置かれている緊急的。何をのんびりとしたこと。大石さん、本当に私の話を信じてくれているんですよね。私の味方なんですよね。
She's being really distrustful of everybody, which is the only thing I would. I mean, I guess she has to be distrustful because of the situation she's in.
答えてください。
もちろんです。ですが、警察組織ってやつは簡単じゃない。私も最大限努力をして。ただですね、やはり話の規模があまりに大きすぎるもので。
大石さん、私、奴らにどこか富武さんにあの異常な死に方をあれをどこかで盛られたんです。昨日から痒くて痒くてもう私首をかきむしりすぎて血まみれな。いつ錯乱して喉をかき破ってしまうかもわからないというのに、大石さんは何をもたもたと。
Rena, what kind of world do you think this is, girl? Assuming that Oishi-san is on your side, I would 100% believe that. Rena's like, oh, the world's ending, so I have to you have to bypass all laws of freaking rules and shit that people are gonna I have no idea. He understood there was some kind of conspiracy in Hinamizawa, but he didn't realize how soon their plan was going to be executed. Besides, I was already feeling itchy all over my body and was bound to die the same way as Tomitaki's.
申し訳ないです。これでただですね、みんな言うんですよ。証拠はないのかと。
証拠があればすぐに動いてくれるんですか?
His son's scrapbooks. Maybe that was what I needed to convince the police. I was afraid someone would destroy the evidence if I handed them over to Uishi-san, so I kept them with me. But I didn't have much longer to live. I might not even make it until tomorrow morning. That's right. I might be dead before tomorrow. I would die tonight.
わかりました。ミオさんのスクラップ帳をお渡し。それでどうか他の警察の人たちを。
ああ、助かります。そのスクラップ帳をぜひ。
I looked through my backpack, which was lying by my feet, and then she's like, "Wait." He seemed a little eager to ask for the scrapbooks, and then she doesn't hand them over.
これは大石さん、くれぐれも絶対によろしくお願いします。
わかりました。信頼してください。必ずや奴らの陰謀を。
でもまあ多分警察も組織だからそうなんだろう。だからちょっと強引な大石さんは私になんとかこのチャンスを有効に
ありがとうございます。必ずやあなたの。ではどうしましょう。私が受け取りに参りましょうか。
I knew she wouldn't let me into the classroom. She was still cautious. I could guess where Renarigu was going to take this thing, so I tried to stay ahead of her. I handed a memo with my instructions on it to a colleague.
さすがに私がこの場を離れるわけにはいかないので。
その方がいいかもしれん。やはりあなたが学校の外へ出れば。
もしやって。
いえ、この騒ぎをもう園崎家も嗅ぎつけ。あなたがこういう手に打って出るとは思わなかったでしょうから。強引な手で口封じ。
それって
狙撃です。園崎家のヒットマンは多分だからあなたは表に出ない。窓にも近づかないでください。さっきから何度か顔を出しているようですが、そこを撃たれてしまいますよ。
ちょっと周りには警察がいるんでしょ。そんなの未然に防げないんですか。
防げるなら防ぎます。ですがね、周りの視界が訓練を受けたものなら400メートルくらいはましてや、あなたもご存知の通り、園崎家の特攻隊は軍事訓練を受け、奴らは侮らないでください。園崎家の陰謀を暴くには。
わかりました。
Fucking Oishi, go fucking dude. The social skills on Oishi make me happy.
忠告をありがとうございます。どうせ明日まで持たない。
I wouldn't even be able to do that
今終わら
shit,
せるわけにはいきませんので。
Like the exact opposite of Keiji.
そうですともそうですとも。いいですか。くれぐ用心してください。
Phone conversation had ended. Renarigu was going to let Keiichi Maibara deliver the scrapbooks.
さっき書いたやつ用意できてますね。
OK です。うまく渡せますかね。
狙撃されるかもしれないと脅して外を覗でもまあ見てるでしょうね。そこはうまくやります。
Okay. I thoroughly understood what was going on from the phone conversation.
じゃあケイチ君、これとても大切なスクラップ帳。園崎家の陰謀と奴らの侵略の証拠を暴く証拠。大石さんに渡してきてね。渡したらすぐに戻ってくるんだよ。見てるからね。変なことをしたら怒るからね。
Rena took out a couple of old scrapbooks from her backpack and gave them to me. She cast a sidelong glance at
みー
me.
ちゃんにも後で話すよ。みーちゃんの家がどれほど恐ろしい陰謀を企ひょっとするともう知ってるのかもしれない。じゃあケイチ君、校庭の真ん中まででいいよ。余計な立ち話とかケイチ君は持っていくだけだから。おしゃべり禁止だ。おしゃべりしたら知恵先生なら T 定規で叩くけど、私なら。
分かってるよ。俺はレナの仲間な。
そうだ。だから裏切らないでね。
Rena's eyes were telling me clearly. They were telling me she didn't trust me. But even in this stage, she also knew she couldn't distrust her friends. Therefore, although she couldn't trust me, she was pretending to. That was why she didn't tie me
じゃ
up.
あ行ってくる。すぐ戻るよ。
よろしくね。
Walked past my friends who were lying down on the floor and headed to the exit. I saw some of their faces as I passed. Some were fearful. Some were sure that I'd use the opportunity to run. And some were scared that they'd die if I did. Don't worry, guys. I won't let her touch any of you. If Rena tries to do something, I'll stop her even if I have to risk my own life. Anyway, I'd do whatever it took to ensure nobody died. I had to make sure Rena didn't get angry. I'd wait for just the right moment. I went down to the school entrance, changed my shoes, then unlocked the door and stepped outside. Alright, and that's going to be the end of this one. So this is future me talking. Hello everybody, how are you? Something weird happened with this one where I thought I could end the episode at any point, and I just was not able to. A lot of the times I thought that it was going to end right then and there, so I didn't want to end it and then have like a small episode after. And so with that mindset, I ended up recording for about 3 hours. So what you're going to see is me split up these episodes into kind of normal episode length chunks. So be on the lookout for that. They'll probably release like one after another. I'll upload this one tonight, the other one like tomorrow afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning, because I do record these pretty late. And then I'll record the last one kind of tomorrow, whenever I get the chance. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know. I know that this is just a weird, abrupt place to stop. So you're going to see another one of those like that, and then you'll see kind of the last episode. What do you guys think? It's this crazy so far, right? KT's about to step outside. Oh my goodness. I called it too. You saw me call it there. It was it was pretty insane. You saw me call it. I was like, Rena's totally going to come to the school and she's going to be there, and that's why she led Chie away. I'm just saying. I'm not going to talk too much because I kind of know what happens going forward. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I will see you guys in the next episode that I'm going to cut up right now. And have a good one. Peace.